Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and this is the latest update from Ukraine. As usual, we have two of the directions of Ukrainian counterattack. One is here in Kharkiv and Luhansk region, the other one is on the south. Let's move to this one first because we have some of the success. Because I'm a Ukrainian as well. So let's go to the timeline. We took Nova Kamenka fully today, so it was yesterday and it is today, my friends. We have the map corrections showing that the gray area getting thinner and thinner. It also means that Russia regrouped their forces and able to put some sort of defense line, and the Ukraine army still need to put new supplies because we moved out to how many kilometers already? To almost 30 kilometers. It's quite far from the previous front lines, so we need to use the new roads, we need to demine the territory, and because of that the counterattack is a little bit slow nowadays. What concerns me, my friends, is Duchana, because before I was sure that we took this part of that village. Just want to show you the timeline, and today it appeared in a gray area. It means two things, whether it was map correction or the other thing that Russian army thrown us back, but still we are not sure who is controlling this area because it's in a gray zone. And the town we took today is kind of important because you can see that the road goes through this Nova Kamenka town, and that is why probably in the future we may connect our forces from two of the sides. Now the part of this road is still in a gray area. As for the weather conditions, it was quite sunny for the recent 3 days, and today weather turned rainy. If rains will continue for like 3 days, the ground there will turn soft and it's bad for offending side. Also, we tried to counterattack from Mykolaiv direction. I'll show you yesterday. So we took this part. It was confirmed by videos, footages, and today it's been confirmed that Russia took this part again under their control. So still not enough forces for Ukraine to perform such a great counterattack as we perform here on the north part of Kherson region. From what I can see, we paused the counterattack in the south, and I think next week we're gonna continue with it because as usual we have the break about 1 week, sometimes 2 weeks, and then we start again. About the Kerch bridge that was blown up yesterday, still I don't have the confirmation that the railroad line is working as it was before, so it was severely damaged, and Russia announced that they will launch the train, and probably they launched just a test train to test this bridge. And what they opened 2 lines of the road. Actually there are 4 lines, so they opened 2 lines for the transport, but not heavy one, just small cars may go across this bridge, across this channel. For sure this bridge requires repairs, and how much time it will take no one knows. So I would say that without the railroad connection, Russia lost the main supply line, and also this group in Crimea, the military group Crimea, Kherson, Zaporizhia will suffer. The only way for Russia to provide supplies now is to go here across the Melitopol and then to Berdansk. Also they may use some of the ships to deliver goods to Berdansk, but still it's not as effective as it was with Kerch bridge. So what other scenarios I do expect on the south, my friends? Honestly, I think we should start the counterattack in 2 areas, one of 2 areas. So I think one of them could be Melitopol, and Ukraine is gaining the forces near to Zaporizhia. I think one of the best scenarios for Ukraine is to cut Russian forces here across to Melitopol and then to go to Crimea or here. In that case, we would cut Russians from their supplies because Crimean Kerch bridge is not working. So they basically cut from this part, and also they will be cut from this part as well. We also may go here to Mariupol, to Berdansk. So the main thing is to cut Russian army over here, mainly together with Crimea. Also we may do the same procedure with Kerch bridge again. if Russia may restore their railroad connection. I'm not giving you some secret details because Russia knows about it, everybody knows about it, and Russians themselves, journalists and military guys, they say about those risks in their own media, in Russian media. Alright, we are going counterclockwise. Let's go to the part where Russia has some sort of success. Recently they took Zaitsevo. It was reported like 2 days ago, but the map was renewed today for that stuff. So Zaitsevo was taken by Russian army. It's not the first time they announced that they took this village. It's the third time Russia claimed that we took Zaitsevo, right? We took Zaitsevo, and they are very close to Bakhmut today. The city got the artillery fire from the Russian side. All of the civilians went to the basements. I wouldn't stay in that city, my friends, if I would see Russia very close. So they are actually in a city suburbs or in the city itself. Sometimes their small groups may go to the city. And Ukraine today tried to attack or counterattack, it's better to say, in Pisky village. Unsuccessful from what I can see from this map. However, we pushed a little bit this gray territory to Pisky. Just to remind you, Russia tried to get this town under their control since the beginning of the war. And finally, last month they took it. It was a great celebration for the Russian propaganda media. As for the Severodonetsk, I don't see any movement. You see this part is already green. It means that we took this part quite a long time ago. And for now, it's the standstill situation over here. We cannot go closer to Lysychansk. Lysychansk is on a high ground and they have priorities or advantage, you may say, in artillery fire towards our side. So it's quite risky to go there for now. I think we're gonna advance towards Crimea, go to Severodonetsk, and simultaneously go from this direction to Lysychansk. Attacking this area from two directions will be awesome move from Ukrainian army. Again, I'm telling you the open information that Russia is telling in their Telegram channels and propaganda media as well, so they know that stuff. About Luhansk area, we took Makivka, and recently we took Stelmachivka over here. So just want to show you the timeline. It was day before yesterday. Yesterday there was no movement, and today we advanced towards this village, and I see that we crossed already the small river over here. Even though it's small, it can be huge obstacle for the tanks and armor vehicle. Now we are going through the H26 road that leads to Svatovo. So basically you can see two of the directions of possible Ukrainian counterattack, from this direction to Svatovo and also from this direction to Svatovo again. I think next week we're gonna see how situation on the front lines may intensify, especially in this region, because I still think that Russians are very vulnerable in this area because the front lines are very long and they don't have enough forces to withstand our massive counterattack. And now we have the threat of possible invasion of the north part of Ukraine from Pinsk by Belarusian forces. At least operator Starsky said about it in his post on YouTube, but I wouldn't say that they may go there, because today Russia sent their tanks to Russian Federation. If you want to attack the other country, I think you need your tanks to do that. So I don't think that Belarus may enter this conflict, even though yesterday they announced that Ukraine may attack Belarus on 8th of October. Today is 9th of October, so nothing happened and the situation doesn't escalate so far, but Ukrainian forces are ready for it. Interesting video here. You can see Prigozhin, who is the leader of the private military campaign Wagner group, and also you can see some of the soldiers who lost their legs, and what he's saying that they should still enter the Wagner group again even without legs. So Prigozhin say that, okay guys, you go for the medical care, you'll have your prosthesis installed, and after that you still can fight even with that condition. He literally said to those guys that you go from the private Wagner campaign if you'll be killed, or you just go old and you go for the pension. But it is not excuse not to fight for the private military campaign as for this guy. Here is Mr. Putler, and he got his present yesterday, just after hangover, after his 70 years party. He got Crimean bridge severely damaged, and now just look at his face. He's not staring at the camera. He is a very sad guy. Now we see the first reaction on that event from Putler himself, and he says that it was the sabotage attack by Ukraine and Ukrainian allies who planned this scenario for Ukraine. So still he blames our Western allies for what is happening in Russia, for what is happening in Ukraine. He continued to say that Russia is fighting against NATO countries in Ukraine, not against Ukraine. And also he called for security meeting tomorrow, so we'll see the outcome of that. But what can they do, right? They cannot do anything. They will not stop Ukrainian army. We're gonna go and free our territory, including Crimea. Speaking about Crimea, there was the fire near to Yevpatoria. Just to remind you, before in that place, Saki airfield was attacked, and now we can see one more fire in the area. And this is North Ukraine, neither Russia. This is Istanbul, Turkey. Some of the buildings got caught fire, and I don't know what caused that, my friends, but I'll keep you updated on that topic. Tweet from Paul Massara in the United States Congress. They registered that they would recognize Russian action in Ukraine as a genocide, and also Russia as, I cannot say it on YouTube, otherwise this video will be restricted. Elon Musk again. Nuclear war probability is rising rapidly. Next month there are gonna be election for the Congress in the United States of America. Again, there are some clashes, so I see that some of the politicians support that move, that Ukraine and Russia should negotiate the peace talks and stop this war right here, right now. Otherwise, it may turn to the World War III using nuclear weapons. But no, my friends, we're gonna free our territory. There is no other way for this conflict to over. If we give Putin the territory of Ukraine that he got today, he will not stop. He will use the same threats using nuclear weapons, and he will take Kyiv, he will take Poland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, everything that he wants. And those politicians will continue to say, no, give Putin everything, just not to start the World War III. We should remember the history lessons. The same things was with Germany in the Second World War. Then they annexed some of the countries without any action or reaction from the world itself. And finally, Second World War happened anyways. I do not say that the Third World War should happen anyways. We need to do our best to help Ukraine to win this war, otherwise it will happen. And also I want to state that I'm out of politics, my friends. I'm here to talk about Ukraine, but what is happening in the United States also touches Ukraine. But I do not support Republicans, I do not support Democrats, I support Ukraine. And I do support Ukrainian allies, including United States of America, that help us a lot. Without our allies, Russia already might have taken Ukraine. This is how the Russian soldiers been delivered to the training facilities. No respect to humanity, nothing. They were put there as pigs or cows. This night it was the attack from the Russian side. They fired rockets from strategic bombers towards civilian buildings over there. As you can see, part of the building is missing. It's 9-story building, so there are lots of the apartments, or you may call them flats, and 17 people lost their lives and many injured. Also, there was one more attack in the city for the smaller houses, and there also people lost their lives and were injured. So the search and rescue operation still continues from a Ukrainian side, and it's terrible what Russia is doing here. That's why we fight hard against them. The best thing that Russian army may do is to film TikToks or short videos. Here you should be scared about the mighty power of those men, but there are not many. If you look at the Russian parades on 9th of May, you'll see lots of people on the square, but Ukraine already destroyed 7 or 8 times more than what you see on that square. Not this one, it's the small square, the main red square in Russia. And there you understand the scale of this war, my friends. It's nothing that we saw in our lives. Since the World War II, no side lost that much soldiers compared to what Russia is losing nowadays in open conflict. Lend-lease from Russia, trophied BTR or something, and easy logistics. You can put the tractor and deliver it to Ukrainian army very fast. This is the ex-Russian prisoner, normal prisoner, so he did something wrong, he went to prison and then been released, but he still got some of the connection. My friends, we have the air serene and Kyiv also in a red area under the risk, so I should go to the basement because nowadays it's very important to go there because Kerch Bridge being severely damaged and Putin may hit Ukraine harder than usual. So I'm gonna continue after some break and probably publish this video a little bit later because of the obvious reason. Sorry, for you it will be very fast. Let's continue. So these guys say that from 375 prisoners that were taken from one prison facility, from one jail, just 52 people returned back. The rest were just killed here in Ukrainian war. And after that, no any other prisoners from that particular jail are willing to join this war. Tactical bomber Su-24 crash landed in Rostov-on-Don. Yes, it's a Russian one, and 2 of the pilots successfully ejected from the cockpit. My friends, more of that information you may find on my Telegram channel. I put the link under the video description for you to check it out and subscribe for me there because I upload there constantly. The German Minister of Defense Christine Lambrecht said that IRIS-T will be delivered to Ukraine very soon. IRIS-T is the modern, sophisticated anti-aircraft and anti-rocket system, and I guess how many of those we'll have, probably 2 or 3, I don't think more for now, for the first delivery. And also she said about 100 tanks from Greece and Slovakia. For now, I don't know the model of those tanks, probably Leopard 2, I just hope for that, and they will be delivered from other Western countries, but for sure they are German-made. British weaponry company Bias Systems may start the production of the M777 artillery system just to deliver more units to Ukraine. 2 more Susanna Hotwizers already been delivered to Ukraine. Those are very sophisticated artillery systems, awesome. And I got some of the awesome news about my channel. The monetization was restored. Why the monetization is so important for YouTubers and especially for me? First of all, it's my main job nowadays. I cannot fly, so it's my income. The other thing that if your videos are not monetized, YouTube do not share it as actively as monetized videos. So basically you have less views. Thank you for spreading information about it elsewhere because many, like thousands of channels were affected. Now everything is restored and I hope it will continue like that. My friends who support me on Patreon and with your donations, thank you so much for it. Patreon is my second source of possible income from the internet, from the activity that I do, and tomorrow I'm gonna post there some of the unique content. So thank you very much guys for supporting me there as well. Again, it's not a reliable source since I know personally some of the guys who lost their patrons. They also have strict rules. YouTube has strict rules. Everything nowadays is very regulated, but what can I do, my friends? I'm here to share the information with you and thank you so much for your kind support. I have the best audience out there on YouTube and I wish you a peaceful sky wherever you are. Have a great time.